Okay, I'm going to do two quick videos on dealing with the English. Increasingly people are being English and trying to use those longbows against the villagers, which can be very annoying and is sometimes very difficult to defend against, and it does depend to a significant extent on the standard of the player. So I'll go through two times that I did okay at defending against English early game and then pushing on mid game to take the win. So one of the important things is getting the military schools up quite early. That's 6 minutes, first military school up. Making sure you're using at least 3 on stone for the duration, basically, of early game, if you can. Obviously you don't prioritise stone if they're challenging, but nevertheless. Sheep are obviously useful, 29, like 30 sheep, one roaming around there. These towers I do basically perfectly, to be honest, so the positioning needs to be quite close to the town centre, such that there's a fallback position, and if they get within, striking distance of the tower itself, the outpost itself, you're able to get town centre arrows on the enemy as well. So the point is that the outposts are defending the gold, stone and wood here. Obviously the enemy could go around the back, but I find that they rarely do actually. Play to probabilities, I guess, such that you're defending the most obvious points. And you're not putting buildings too far away. They could obviously take out this probably, and it depends on how many troops I'd have. If I wanted to try and contest that and defend it, I might just leave it, even though military schools are quite expensive and quite annoying to rebuild. So, the key here then, 11 minutes in, English haven't attacked, they've nearly pretty much missed their opportunity now. Yeah, my playstyle, you should be at Castle Age about now, and as soon as you get to Castle Age you should be able to upgrade those springboard emplacements. Keep it on the mangonels. The mangonels are going to be crucial for taking on the longbows, and then you're upgrading also obviously the spearmen that you've got. You could also, in the other game, I choose to get Svahi cavalry units, although they are quite light and they're not necessarily the best. They're probably the best unit you've got against early game against longbows, but it's really kind of speed of getting to Castle Age such that you can get the Imperial Armory and then you've got free mangonel production, and that's the real what you do, how to beat English really, in my view, with Ottomans. So I've already got the springboard emplacement and I'm upgrading both towers on fortifying both towers as well. So I'm doing this quite nicely, and they're a little bit late in their push. If they're a little bit earlier in their push, they might well have... and English is... I'm not contesting the idea that English can be very difficult to deal with. If you've got a good player and they're playing English, and you're Ottoman, and they push very early, it's pretty much impossible, to be honest. Not completely impossible, it's just very hard. So, despite what they say, they do go on the back. I actually forgot about that. For some reason they slightly insecure such that I can just kind of walk towards them then. Do you see that? Walk towards them and then they kind of run off. They're doing a bit of damage to a building, but it's not kind of absolutely imperative to go and save it. Just let them do that damage, I'd suggest. They're not doing this very well either, they're losing units as they come round. That was slightly poor, I lost a village unnecessarily there. But you see the importance of getting those springboard emplacements on the outposts, so helpful. Obviously moving the villages early, not letting them come in. A bit slower than Mangonel. Obviously Mangonel, as long with the others, should be contesting. And important to use micro here to kind of keep coming in and use the Mangonel as the main force to actually attack, but kind of just mainly protect it. If they've got a lot of archers at least, protect it with the force that you have there, and go straight back onto the resource as soon as you've come off it. The other slightly aggressive move I do this game is push with quite a limited force. So you want to build up a little bit from this point, but I'd suggest you don't want to go crazy. Pretty much as soon as you're at kind of that next stage, you then start to move, and I'd suggest you make a few units now such that you're not wasting kind of time, because it's going to take you a while to actually get to the enemy, so you can make a few reinforcements to send along at the same time. Don't send the villagers yet. The villagers come next. The villagers are coming now behind the main force. About that distance, I'd suggest as well, because you see they catch up very easily. And then it's about placement. And in this instance, I decided to be aggressive. So I didn't think, because the enemy had just pushed, so I thought I could get away with being quite aggressive in placement. Microing those troops as kind of well as you can, in terms of just running away essentially. No need to throw everyone into the fight. Siege workshop first thing to build. I mess up a bit in that I don't have enough wood. So as soon as these people come, you need to obviously build a lumber camp. And this only works if you've got a pretty much so if this area is contested, this isn't going to work, obviously. And they're quite quick with the trebuchet response, and I'm quite slow precisely because I'm not on the wood, as I should be. But nevertheless, this is quite a strong move, because it's actually longbowmen they've got in there. I think I initially thought it was villagers, but it's longbowmen. And I didn't have enough wood to build a trebuchet straight away, so I just go for the battering ram. That's still kind of going to do something right, and if they come and attack it, then it's going to be good fodder for my Seagate Castle. So now it's a trebuchet fight. Slow it down a little bit. So I've got 15 villagers repairing the Seagate Castle, and I've also got 3 trebuchets now. Main aim was to take out the White Tower, and from this point I would suggest obviously the counterweight trebuchets are the main priority 1 targets, and then next the town centre. there were some nice shots. That was 20 archers just taken out there, and there's 4 here as well. I think, yeah, just gonna get absolutely destroyed. So, yeah. Now, I presume as well that they are kind of, they've got fairly undefended villages somewhere, because they kind of have to. So I decided it's worth going round. Have a little force. If I see where that waymark's going, so they will actually end up hopefully seeing these villagers if the battle continued for a significant long period. I'm making a nice number of trebuchets now, 5 trebuchets with a decent little force. Probably not going to be able to get back in the game once you're at this point. It's just, and this is kind of obviously going around the other side to see if they've got people around on this gold, maybe on that gold. But it's about surviving that initial push, essentially, and once you've done that, it's quite easy. Because as I say, Ottomans, Imperial Age are much, much better than English, and as long as you're kind of keeping the pressure on, and you've survived, essentially you've survived feudal and early bit of castle, then you're probably good. There you go, so there's their last trebuchet gone. Town centre's on fire. Quite straightforward.